This will be a demo of IBM's HyperSwap Live Migration using VMware's Site Recovery Manager. As you can see, I have two virtual machines here. One is the application server, one is the database server, and you can see there it's on my production site. As you can see, it's part of this storage policy, the stretched storage policy. It's compliant. It's part of my accounting database storage data store. Let's take a look a little bit deeper into our site recovery plan. So inside we have the recovery plans, and let's take a look at those recovery plans. So here's the plan that we'll follow. Now let's take a look at the Hyperscale Manager. As you can see, this first volume is in a HyperSwap availability, meaning it has active. This one volume is on two separate A9000s, but because they're in HyperSwap, you have a primary and a secondary, both with active paths. One is a primary, one is a secondary path. As you can see, each volume is the exact same, but to the application, it's just one volume on two highly available paths. As a quick review, don't forget this is going to be on the IBM FlashSystem A9000R storage array, which means with HyperSwap, a built-in feature, you can actually have one SCSI identity for both sites. That means that the volume is going to be on both A9000Rs, the primary and the secondary, and the host or the application is only going to see one SCSI ID, and we're going to use VMware's stretched Site Recovery Manager as well. And now you can see how we'll do the recovery plan. So I'll start the recovery plan. So as you can see, I'll check the box and do a planned migration. I'll enable that vMotion. I click on Next. As you can see, the plan is going to start beginning. As you can see, the plan is running right now. It's going to go through all the various different steps. As you can see, we're doing a live migration of those virtual machines now to the other side. And as you see, we're going to do that live migration with the synchronization. We don't need to shut down the VMs at the other side. That's why we've skipped it. And now it's automatically communicating with the A9000 to make sure that the volume is in lockstep for that data store. And as you can see, it's just completed that, as well as finishing the recovery of the consistency groups on the other side. As you can see, we've almost finished the complete site recovery plan. We're finishing just the last little bit now on the recovery side. During this entire time, it's active for the application. As you can see, we actually skipped the recovery of the VMs because we did a live vMotion, and we've actually finished all of the VMs, and the recovery itself is complete. Now let's go into a reprotect. This allows us to fail back. So as you can see, we'll do the reprotect confirmation where we understand, and we click on Next, and we click on Finish. And as you can see, it says a new updated recovery plan so that we can fail back appropriately. And as you can see, we're still leveraging that HyperSwap functionality so that we can fail back. As you can see, we've removed all those production, and now they're in our recovery site down below. And as a further proof, you can see inside the Hyperscale Manager that this former secondary is now primary, still in an active situation, as well as the secondary there, which was formerly our primary. So again, as you can see, we have now completely failed over an application from one site to the other without it going down, with the storage being an active the entire time at both sites, and both of the paths being viable, and the host simply switching from one preferred path to a secondary path and back. Thanks again for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at other IBM demos.